away from 2 Monday Night Football games. In the first, the Lions smoked the Buccaneers, 218 scrimmage yards from Jahmyr Gibbs. And in the latter, the Seahawks beat the Texans. Both the Lions and Seahawks now are 5-2. So, Tony, which team's season impresses you the most thus far?
I'm not taking anything away from the Seahawks. They're a fine team. But they beat a very mediocre team last night. Houston is 2-4, and a tremendous disappointment after the rookie season that C.J. Stroud had, where he looked to be all-world. What Detroit has done is noteworthy. They just smothered a good team, Tampa Bay. A 5-1 team. They smothered them. I got to get this one note here. They've got the best point differential in the NFC. They're plus 64. You have said for the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season that they were suffering from a brain drain. They lost their offensive coordinator. Yes, you did. They lost their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson. He's your coach now. He's done a good job, except the game that Detroit pounded them 52-21, right? They lost their defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, to the Jets, where he's 0-7 and might be back on the sideline by December 15th, patrolling for Detroit. Look, they have lost 2 games this year, Mike, to really good teams at Green Bay, at Kansas City. They came back the next week after that, and their total point differential in 2 games where they pounded people is 76-30. So where exactly is this brain drain?
I don't give a damn what they did the next week. What did they do when they had to play the big boys at Green Bay and Kansas City? They got their butts handed to them. So stop slurping them. You can slurp them all you want. And I said, and I'll stand by it, that 1 week of brain drain, and then they showed they had what they needed. The other team was Sam Darnold, who the Minnesota Vikings tossed out on his ear. They're the most impressive team so far because they got Njigba and Sam Darnold. Like you would have taken Sam Darnold. No, you wouldn't have. But Seattle took him, and they've crafted something, and they have something. Yes, last night's opponent was nothing. But don't give me how great Detroit is.
That's right.
They played 2 big boy teams, 2 teams in Division I, and they got the smack beat out of them.
Detroit's real good.
That's a fact.
Detroit's real good.
Okay, you can dispute that if you want.
Let's move to basketball. I know you'll be receptive to that. And tonight's NBA openers, Houston at defending champ Oklahoma City and Golden State at the Lakers. That's a pretty loaded start. You're welcome, NBC. Wilbon, the NBA is your league. Tell us what player and what team most intrigues you at the start.
The player's easy, and you know who this is. If we were playing, the match game, 1974 with Gene Rayburn, see how many people get that reference. You know where I'm going with this. It's Victor Wembanyama. There's no question. And anybody who writes any name down on the card except Wemby is just being silly. Teams you can take several of. You already mentioned one of them. Orlando is one of them you could take. I'm kind of intrigued by Detroit. I want to see what they're going to do. Is there a transition coming here? Because you got space in the East, and you can have that. But Tony, San Antonio is one of them. I don't think San Antonio is going to win or anything like that. I want to see Wembanyama, who's had an incredible offseason, and he spent the whole time with monks and Olajuwons and doing all kinds of stuff to get himself ready to be great. I care about him and the teams. I didn't say OKC. I didn't say them because last year was their year to be fascinated with. I'm not fascinated with them, but I'm a San Antonio. How not to be fascinated with that young cast of characters?
Let me come back to you. Last year, you very loudly, very enthusiastically, and very early declared that the Boston Celtics would not win the championship and repeat.
Right.
And you were right. So I ask you right now, will Oklahoma City repeat, yes or no?
No. No, they won't. No, the league's too good. They have everything. Oklahoma City has everything you can have. And now the experience, the stars, the demeanor, the coachability, the coaches. They have the defense. They have everybody back. They have the personalities. They have it all. The league's too hard. You got to go through a bunch of people. So let me tell you what's bad.
Look, I don't care about the NBA right now because I care about baseball right now and football right now. And also, in the city in which I live, which is the city in which you live, the alleged professional basketball team, the Wizards, is embarking on yet a 3rd straight year of trying to lose every single game. And they've gotten good at it. They stink. at the moment,
Yeah.
and they are cheating all of the people who are paying money for their tickets. You know what I look forward to this season?
What?
I look forward to the fact that Charles is going to be on this very channel, and I can sit with my grandsons and I can say, I know him. I actually know him. That'll make me
You
very
couldn't
happy.
find him
Let's
on
take a
Turner
break.
to tell your grandsons, I know him? You needed him
I
to
don't
be...
stream.
Huh?
I don't stream. It's got to be on this channel. Let's take a break. Coming up, is Jonathan Taylor's huge start proof that teams can still build around running backs? We're going to ask Jeff Saturday.
Hate to let you in that Thursday night mishap. I should have mentioned Houston. Houston's worth watching. You know, they are. I mean, with a lot of attention. The Lakers are worth watching if LeBron plays. Not tonight. Maybe.
Is he going to play? He's not starting. He's
Sciatica.
not starting the season.
Neither one of
How
us
about
has
Skinny
sciatica,
Luka?
right?
Pardon the interruption.
All right, let's dig into the NFL trenches with our great friend, ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday. Jeff, let's start with a question about your old team, the Colts. Daniel Jones gets a lot of attention, and deservedly, for what the Colts are doing. But Jonathan Taylor leads the NFL right now, 697 yards and total touchdowns with 11. Do you think that teams can still build around a running back in this day and age?
Well, let me see. The last team that won the Super Bowl was last year. Was around a running back, being Saquon Barkley. So absolutely. Not only do I think it can be, I think it should be done that way, right? Let's take some pressure off the quarterback and not make him have to be our hero week in and week out. You think about, they're scoring on 63% of their drives. Jonathan Taylor, he's an explosive back that gets you explosive plays in the run game that has taken so much pressure off of Daniel Jones. And whether it's, Tyler Warren at the tight end position, or Pittman, or Alex Pierce, or Josh Downs, everybody gets a turn. But all that starts and is predicated on the run game. Their offensive line does a fantastic job, running the ball. Tony Sperano, the junior, the offensive line coach, has done a great job in their run game scheme. Shane Steichen's calling these plays correctly. It can definitely be run through a running back, and Jonathan Taylor is having an MVP season, even though he doesn't get mentioned with all the quarterbacks.
Classic football, which we love as old people. All right, I'm behavior obsessed right now, Jeff. So I'm going to start with this. The NFL has suspended Broncos linebacker Dre Greenlaw 1 game for unsportsmanlike conduct toward a referee. Okay, you had a lot of experience, more than a decade, having to talk to refs in heated moments. Is there an approach? Is there a way that you approach these guys to stay away from 15 yards and a yellow flag?
Yeah, listen, you start early in the game, right? Before there's a necessity of making a call. And you get along with these guys. They're out there to do a job too. They don't want to be the story of the game. They don't want nobody wants all that attention put on a call at some point in the game, including the referees. And so, yeah, I think, listen, I don't know what was said, but to get suspended in the NFL, most referees, I don't know the guy that he yelled at. I don't know if he's had something, but it has to be pretty bad, because there's been some really nasty things said to some referees on the sideline. I've never heard of suspending. I was like, man, whatever he said had to have crossed some kind of line for them to suspend him. So obviously you want to work with these guys, so when it does come down to a big time call, you've gotten some goodwill with these guys, and we all work it. Offensive line, defensive line, everybody's trying to befriend the referees as the game goes on. But ultimately, I think on the large scale, they do a pretty good job. So I don't know what was said, but it had to be bad to get a game suspension.
This next story is so cool to me. The Baltimore Sun is reporting that the Ravens have removed a basketball hoop, ping pong table, cornhole boards, and video games from the locker room, which to me, now in this day and age, there's not a bedroom, a teenage bedroom, or a locker room that's worth a damn without these things. Jeff, is this going to work? Is this going to have influence on players in the slump the Ravens are in?
I don't think one has anything to do with the other. If they were the AFC or playing for the AFC Championship a couple years ago, and as hot as they were last year when they lose to Buffalo, what's changed, right? Do they think all of a sudden the ping pong table has manifested into some kind of thing they can't get away from, or the video games are like? Come on, I mean, whatever was going on in the locker room then, nothing's changing. They're not playing well. They're not executing. And so if it's like punitive, right? Like, oh, we're going to punish you. If you play well, we'll put this stuff back. Okay, but if it's like, no, we're too distracted. Like, those distractions have been around the whole time. I'm not sure what this is, but yeah, whatever guys do during their break time, I really don't care. When you show up to practice or show up to a meeting, be sharp, be a professional, have a pen in hand, paper to write on. Let's get this thing done. When you walk on the field, shoes are tied, helmets buckled, we're going to work, right? But all the rest of it, it's all ancillary in my mind.
I will get you out of here on this, and I'll stay with the behavior theme that Wilbon likes so much. Steelers left tackle Broderick Jones was trying to celebrate with Aaron Rodgers, accidentally tackled him, and Rodgers appeared upset. Whose side are you on in this?
I'm on the old man's side. Get himself ready. Come on, man. That's self-inflicted wounds. We can't have any of that.
That's great.
Jeff, pleasure as always, Jeff. Thanks so much.
Jeff.
I love you guys.
We will take one last break. Still to come, the Angels hire a former player to be their next manager. But is it the one you're thinking of?
And could the Cowboys trade for a huge name on defense? Aaron could just get some ayahuasca. There's got to be some in the locker room. An ayahuasca dispenser.
Happy 76th birthday, Mike Keenan. The old school coach spent 20 years in the NHL, coaching 8 different teams, most recently Calgary in 2009. Keenan won the Stanley Cup with the New York Rangers in 1994, the celebrated Mark Messier team. The Rangers had not won the Cup in 54 years and haven't won it since. Keenan got to the Stanley Cup final with the Philadelphia Flyers in 1985 and 1987, losing both times to the Edmonton Oilers with Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier. He got to the Cup final with the Chicago Blackhawks in 1992. Losing to Pittsburgh with Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr. So Keenan's teams were beaten by elite talent. He also coached Florida, Boston, Vancouver, and St. Louis.
He had a way about him, Tony, and I wonder if Keenan, we just saw a clip of him screaming at a Blackhawks goaltender. I think that was 1992. Is there a legit comparison between Keenan and Billy Martin, or is that too over the top to you?
It's a little over the top for me. Maybe not for you, a little bit for me. Happy anniversary, Carlton Fisk. On this day 50 years ago, in Game 6 of the World Series, Fisk stood at home plate, famously waving his 12th inning deep fly ball fair. His home run gave the Red Sox a dramatic 7-6 win over Cincinnati. Boston would go on and lose Game 7 to the Big Red Machine and continue their streak without a World Series title since 1918. The Hall of Fame catcher was a beloved player on the Red Sox and the White Sox over 24 seasons. Fisk was Rookie of the Year, a Gold Glover, an 11-time All-Star, a 3-time Silver Slugger. That World Series featured Fisk and Johnny Bench, 2 of the greatest catchers ever.
Tony, I bet nobody outside Chicago knows that Fisk played more games, 1,421 for the White Sox, than he played for the Red Sox, 1,078. If we go all-time catchers, all-time, the names to me are Berra, Campanella, Fisk, Cochran, Dickey, Bench, and Josh Gibson. Am I missing? I can't be. Maybe I'm not missing anybody, but you got Bench higher, right?
I got Bench high, yes, usually. But here's what you're missing.
What?
Cal Rawley's on that road now. He's on the road,
okay,
and we
fair
will
enough,
see.
Fair enough.
Happy trails to Albert Pujols managing the Angels. The team today hired former catcher Kurt Suzuki to do it. Pujols once seemed like a shoo-in for the gig, but talks broke down in the interviews with the Padres tomorrow, a much better team. Pujols is said to be held in high regard by San Diego's 2 biggest stars, fellow Dominicans Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. Pujols just won a title as manager of a Dominican Winter League team, and the Orioles have also been interested in talking to him about their managerial opening.
I'm sorry, but if you're going to live in Southern California and be a manager, and you're Albert Pujols, if you're not going to manage the Dodgers, it ain't going to be the Angels. You're going to go to San Diego with that lineup and that ballpark and all they got going on. At least I would.
Yeah, they're ready to win.
Yeah.
They're ready to win. It's the right place to go. Big finish, here we go.
Let's do it.
Rick Pitino told Matt Norlander of CBS that expanding March Madness from 68 to 76 schools could only help. You surprised by that?
I don't know if I'm surprised by it, but Tony, I just don't want to see it. No more teams. Just stop. Just play the tournament. Jets owner Woody Johnson said he believes in Aaron Glenn and, quote, it's hard when you have a quarterback with the rating that we've got, close quote, ouch. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the owner, who's not a very good owner, just crushed the quarterback, Justin Fields. Who put him on the team?
Yeah.
Which
Yes,
coach?
who brought him
Which
in?
owner?
Yeah.
Mike Tirico interviews Michael Jordan on NBC tonight. I'll bet you're intrigued by that.
I texted somebody named Michael today to say I can't wait to see this segment tonight. You can figure out who. Trey Wingo says the Cowboys have asked the Raiders about a potential trade for Maxx Crosby. Big deal.
It would be if they made that. Would they trade him? Really? Would they trade him? Last one, Panthers at Bruins tonight. You intrigued by that?
No. No, it's like you said about the NBA. It's too early. For the NHL, it's too early. I peek in at all of it.
Really?
Intrigue. Let's not get crazy.
Really? Marchand going back to Boston? Really? We're out of time. Try to do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, knuckleheads. Yes, I'm intrigued by Tirico and Jordan. That is what I'm intrigued to watch tonight.